Alright, today we are going to be taking out the sound deadening on the inner part of the rear quarters. I've already finished this side. I still have some residue up and whatnot, but for the most part, this side's done. And all of that sound deadening is right there under all those plastic gloves, because whoever invented DYNAMAT is pure evil. This shit's disgustingly evil. The fact that I had to waste that many gloves. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get started on this side, and I have that part of the quarter panel to take care of, and I'll show you the end result once I'm done. Okay, so I finished the right side quarter panel. All the sound deadening is out, and here it is. I believe that is all, both sides that I've removed so far, and that's how many gloves I used, because that sound deadening is very tacky and it just sticks to your gloves really bad, and it was just a pain. It was just a pain to deal with, but it's out. I'm tossing this. There is one more mat. I did take the liberty of going around the car and getting rid of some of the excess miscellaneous matting. I don't know why it's in like various places, but you can kind of see exactly what spots they put on the car. That's the only one that I can see so far. I'm gonna pull up the mat that I'm laying on and see if there's any more that I missed, and then go from there. And then I can, once that's all done and squared away, I can go around, get a wire wheel, and just clean this car up, because it looks disgusting and messy. All right, I'd like to make a little note to you people who are getting into sound deadening. Stop using expansion foam. That's really stupid. Okay, anyway. Okay, so I wanted to do a little update on the Civic. So compared to my last few clips, I've shown that there has been sound deadening in the inner quarters, in that side also, and then there was also stuff in this part of the quarter also. Not so much on this side, but I got all that out, and then I also was successful in removing, I want to say 90% of the sound deadening in the rear. I still have two spots to touch up on, which is the OEM sound deadening, which is this entire piece right here, this entire piece, and then this entire piece. And then after that, I can go over the rear, sand it down, get it ready for paint. And then I also should touch up on the inner or outer part of the rear quarters also. You see where all those brown marks are? That's where they had DYNAMAT material. That needs to get sanded down. And then also, I need to spray around, or at least I'll probably include spraying the ceiling while I'm at it, just so that way I can get everything to, you know, just look professional and decent. Oh yeah, and I also should mention that I did clean up the A-pillars just a smidge, and I'll paint those also. So everything from the rear to the roof, the B pillars, the C pillars, and the A pillars are gonna get resprayed. That's the goal. But first things first, clean everything up, sand it down, get it prepped, and then I can focus on all that shit and making this car look somewhat decent. So previous owner didn't tidy / tuck any of this sunroof wiring, so I'm going to tie it with the OEM wiring for the chassis light, that light, and I'm gonna run it down the A-pillar. See the wiring right there. So we're gonna just tack it on and make it look OEM, even though this car is far from OEM and it looks like shit. It looks like a junkyard car, but we're gonna make it let's just make it a polished turd. This is basically just gonna be a polished turd. So I'm gonna do that off camera and then I'll show you my results. All right, so it's another day. I brought this disgusting crusty looking, well, on the front that is, trunk hook latch, whatever you want to call it, for the EK. So I'm just gonna, basically the plan is just dip it in thinner and hopefully all this crusty ass paint will come off with ease. Yeah, I don't know why people didn't think about taking the latch off before they painted it, but whatever. All right, it's a new day. What we're gonna do is take care of some of these runs. I got some sandpaper ready to go, and then yeah, I'm just like, I kind of got a lot of the interior. I kind of started on the roof a little bit, and then I started seeing some of this stuff right here all the way across. So I'm probably gonna have to go over that again and smoothen that with sandpaper. Also, I need to disconnect the ground lines. I obviously was stupid enough to not unscrew the grounds, but I'll take care of that in a bit. And then I'm also gonna take the rear view mirror out. And yeah, I mean, this I gotta watch out because the masking tape is coming off the sunroof. And I gotta paint that. Shit. Yeah, the sun, or the heat is actually putting a damper on the masking tape. Fuck. We're at this point, compared to the last time that I recorded the ceiling, and this hasn't really changed much. I got the quarter panels done for the most part. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty bright in here. Kind of like it. I'm gonna go over it with one more coat, just because I know that there's like some spots like right over there. There's like some spots right there that I missed, especially like where the rear seats used to be. I want to cover as much with white paint as possible. That way it looks nice and clean, and then it's all looking pretty professional, and then I can start assembling everything back together. And yeah, I did kind of get a little overspray on the little gasket here, or the trunk seal, but it's all good. I mean, nothing a little thinner can't wipe off, so I'll worry about that once I can get this thing to work. I'm not really gonna touch on the tailgate, because at least not for now. I was also kind of planning on changing this thing out later if I have the money. Right now everything is just budget. I just want majority of this interior looking cleaner than it was before, because I already know, well, you guys already know from my previous videos how disgusting this interior was, but it's coming along nicely. The floor is I'm not gonna touch that for now. I might just leave it personally, or if I can find another carpet. That's the old carpet. I'm keeping it. Maybe I might bring it back, I don't know, but yeah, I still have to touch up around the sunroof there. I'm just noticing that just now as we are filming. Yeah, so I already waited like 30 minutes to an hour for this stuff to dry, for at least my last pass. So I'm gonna go over again and then I'll show the finished result. While we're waiting for the paint to dry on the Civic, I thought I'd take time to take off whatever this crusted residue is. I guess the previous owner put tint on this taillight to cover up the amber, which is kind of fucking stupid. I mean, like, they didn't really do a good job considering this part's still amber, obviously, and it didn't really do a good job tinting the amber to match the rest of the tail lamp. Like, I mean, it kind of looks weird. So I'm taking time to use a razor blade. I'm taking time to use a razor blade to take this off, and hopefully it looks somewhat presentable when I'm done. I'm gonna be here for a while. I'll probably be here for like another hour or so. So I'm taking the opportunity here to sand down my my knife marks with some 3000 grit, because as I was trying to take off that tint, I ended up gouging the plastic. So I'm trying to smoothen that out, and I'm trying to cut the surface so I can polish. All right, check it out. It's done. I mean, yeah, in certain lighting you can see my scratches, but yeah. I mean, it's a lot better than that crusty red residue that was on previously. So this will do. At least now I have a matching set of taillights. So anyway, onto the car goes. All right, so a lot better of an improvement than yesterday. And I might as well give you guys an update on the interior. Oh God, it's bright. Holy crap. So we got the roof painted, or ceiling painted. The entirety of the rear trunk is painted. Same with the A pillars, B pillars, and the C pillars. And then all there's left now is just take off the masking, and I'm done. I'm done painting. This is it. I'm not gonna bother clear coating it because I mean, I don't really think there is a need to. I mean, it's the inside of the car, so it's, if anything happens, I could just sand it and then I'll just spray paint over it. But yeah, I like how it came out. And yeah, I'm just gonna continue what I was doing. And I'll give you an update once everything is off. Yes, I know I oversprayed on the window and I didn't mask it properly, but it's tint. I'm gonna take it off anyway. I mean, I already did it with the rear, so yeah. The rear tint's coming off. And yeah, I'm just gonna have all the sunlight for days in this thing. Oh yeah, that's a big difference versus what was on there originally, and it looks way cleaner. In case some of you need a refresher on how to install this gasket, allow me to enlighten you, okay? So, first things first, remove your harness. And then you want to make sure that the wires don't go anywhere near underneath the foam gasket. And make sure you seat the bulbs in properly. Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Turn like that. Okay, so that's in, right? Now, you want to make sure that this cable comes outwards like this. So that way it goes in like, see what I did there? So I went from underneath the gasket to here. Alright. Boom. So you can leave the other two wires where they're at. Now, what you want to do is you want to line up the holes with the screws or the threads on the housing. So there's that, there's that. Make sure that this hole is lined up with this peg, And now once you get up to here, you'll notice after you see this and you see this, you'll feel some resistance coming from 3 different points. One here, and one here. So once you have it lined up properly on like one side, right, you just let that peg poke through the foam. Same thing with this one. Make sure it's lined up properly. Actually, no, wait. Before we move on to the middle one, do the sides first, and then it should just pop right through like that. Boom. And then you can feed the pegs through like that through the gasket. All right, now you're allowed to, or you should be able to install it without any issues. I'm gonna do that right now. All right, so here's the finished product. Everything's installed. Harness, body harness, trunk release latch cable is routed in its OEM position. Same with the gas door release latch cord cable. Yeah, the gas door release cable is in its original spot, and then I wired up all the tail lamps, and here is the fixed tail lamp that had all that what do you call it, tint. All that dried up tint is all smoothed off, and I took the time to polish just this section, just the amber section of this taillight. The rest of it, I'm gonna worry about that later. And then we come over here. Luckily, I got this spare tail lamp from a friend, because the tail lamp that came on this car originally is not OEM, and it's kind of fucked up. Yeah, that isn't supposed to look like that. Yeah, and it's not even OEM. Like, it doesn't say Stanley right there. Now I have 2 matching sets, or I have a matching set of OEM taillights for this car. I had some issue fitting this because there is body damage right there. So this whole quarter panel needs to be PDR'd at some point. It's a lot cheaper than replacing the entire quarter. And yeah, for the most part, the rest of the car is still going to stay silver. I have some door cards coming, and I just want to get rid of these because these are terrible. We still got the clown colored red door handles, or door latches, I should say. There's still some spiders in here. I don't want to think about it right now, but I have noticed that there, by the gas pedal, there has been cobwebs building up after I leave this car sitting for a day or two without anybody getting in and out. So there's that. But yeah, I will address that later. I am not dealing with that right now. I'm pretty much out of all 4 cans of white paint, which is what pretty much, if you guys ever want to do something like this with your car, you're going to get A pillars, sailing, B pillars, C pillars, quarter panels, and trunk, and the rear part of the roof. You are going to need 4 cans for this job. That's if you don't use clear coat. And I only use like 2 cans of primer. I'm just going to trust this thing and just go with the fact that it's both a paint and a primer. So all I did was just clean it up really good, and I just sprayed everything down, and it looks pretty nice. Anyway, that's all I'll do for now with this car. We already have the aftermarket steering wheel. As long as I have a working, functioning horn, I'm okay with that, because this car originally came with that janky, ugly looking, arcade looking steering wheel, but that's gone. And yeah, I think I'll continue this build when the new door cards come in, and I'll show you how to install that. But for now, it just looks a lot cleaner in here. Actually, let's see how it looks with the trunk down. It actually closes a lot better now, ever since I cleaned up the release latch. But damn, that's already an improvement. Yes, I know there's overspray. Yeah, I already mentioned that. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel out. Helps me out. Helps me make more videos. You know the drill. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hole.